So there are only two mindsets. One is the lack, I don't have enough. And one is abundance, what I have is enough. Once we understand that is the first tip, to start with being aware that what you have is enough of a permission for you to be healthy and happy and wealthy. Yes, wealthy, no matter how little you have now.
Welcome to A Magical Life, Health, Wealth and Weight Loss. I'm your host, Magic Barclay, lead practitioner at Holistic Natural Health Australia and #1 best-selling author. In this podcast, I aim to give you practical tips on how to accelerate and sustain your health, increase your financial, spiritual and emotional wealth, and to look at something that haunts many of us needlessly, weight loss. Now, sit back and enjoy, because it is time for you to create and truly discover a magical life. Welcome back to A Magical Life. I'm your host, Magic Barclay, and today, Victoria Rader, PhD, possibility coach, transformational speaker, and founder of You to Shine, joins us. She empowers coaches, entrepreneurs, and people that seek personal development to grow in all areas of their life through the proven formula of success so that they have more peace, purpose, and prosperity. Victoria is an 8 times best-selling author and creator of Empower Me and Master Me apps, founder of Free Me EFT and Quantum Freedom. She is globally recognized, along with Brené Brown, Richard Branson, and others, for creative and innovative ideas, adaptability in business, and contribution to sustainability and mental health projects, with CREA Global Award by Brains Magazine. Welcome, Victoria.
Thank you so much, Magic. I'm so thrilled to be here.
I'm thrilled to have you here. And I'm really excited about this because I've spoken before about EFT and about different ways to free your mind and your body. And having an expert on board is exciting for me.
Well, thank you. And especially for the delusion of me being an expert, right? I think we are so, as society, we're so accustomed to the need of our sweet, glorious ego to be patted, and expert is one of those things. So yes, I am a continual student of the practices that I live. I fail joyfully and I learn a better way. If it makes me an expert, yes, I'm the one.
Great. Gonna dive straight in. I ask all of my guests the same 3 questions. Everyone gives me such wonderfully different answers. So here comes your first one. What can your expertise do to accelerate health, not just physical, but also emotional and spiritual health?
I believe that health as such is one uniform concept of our spirituality as energy flow. We know we have certain genetic, environmental, or core, meaning this life, patterns of thought, behavior. And those patterns of thought and behavior are electric. Every time you have a thought, there's an electric field created. We know that electric fields must create a magnetic field. Those magnetic fields are then triggered into the emotional response. So we're emotional and we're thinking, feeling beings, or we are electromagnetic beings. And now we know that any electromagnetic being then causes the action. There is no action without the field. Once there is a field, it triggers universal laws and it causes action. The actions bring result. That is our physical reality. So for me, I work with all aspects of who we are as one whole being. I help my clients, my students identify where the pattern interrupt has started for them, how to release the pattern interrupt, and how to restore the gentle yet very empowering uniform energy flow in their thoughts, in their emotions, as a result, in their actions and then the results of the actions, which is our health, our wealth, and our relationships.
And that leads us into our second question, which is about wealth. And that is, what are your top 3 tips to create wealth, not just financial, but personal and emotional wealth?
The first tip is complete awareness of what you already have. The number one reason for us not having quote unquote more is our inability to recognize and fully appreciate what we already have. What we appreciate appreciates, right? Appreciate meaning what we love and are grateful for. And the second appreciates grows in value and quantity. So there are only 2 mindsets. One is the lack, I don't have enough. And one is abundance, what I have is enough. Once we understand that is the first tip, to start with being aware that what you have is enough of a permission for you to be healthy and happy and wealthy. Yes, wealthy, no matter how little you have now. That's the first tip. Looking at your life is, what I have now is enough. Not enough not to grow, but enough to thrive internally. Then the second tip for wealth. So the first one we could summarize as the awareness and gratitude, or aware gratitude. The second tip is give. Give not in order to receive, but as you give, you will receive. It has to be that way. Give what you want to receive. If you want to receive attention, pay attention. If you want to receive compliments, give compliments. And yes, if you want to receive money, start giving money. I actually recently heard Joe Vitale go even deeper on this. I want to give credit to him because that was such a gorgeous adaptation to what I've been teaching, which is give where your heart is supported. So what brings you joy? Give to that. Do you have a friend that brings you joy? Well, surprise them with an unexpected treat. Just spend money thoughtfully, gratefully, and with a lot of generosity in order for your money to grow. That's the second one. And the third one, realize that in life, to thrive, mindset or effort or skill set on its own is not enough. So look at your formula. I call it the formula of success in the law of growths, which is mindset times skill set times effort equals results. Look into that and say, wait a minute, which one am I lacking at? Do I need to improve my mindset or my skill set or my effort? And that will move the needle on your results for wealth. You might be already fully cleared in your mindset, but you simply don't have the skills. Wealth growing requires skills. That would be my third tip.
And there's some great tips to follow. Now, our standard final question is about weight. Have you ever battled your weight? If so, how did you win the war? And what can you offer the listeners who might be on that journey, understanding that stress is a major component in weight issues?
I've had 2 stories contributing to that. I was a competitive gymnast as a kid, not allowed to eat extra calories. Now you would probably call it an eating disorder. I was 89 pounds and have developed patterns of unhealthy relationship with food, not a way you normally think of. We've accustomed to think as weight issue as having too much weight. Well, for me, it was not having enough weight that caused 2 miscarriages. Couldn't keep the baby for a while. So there was just a journey of healing there. And then correlating to that, number 2, when I did get pregnant with my second child, the joy of being able to do, which was my dream, I understand might not be somebody else's, and then saying, oh, wow, look at me. Now I can have all the weight I want, and putting 80 pounds in the last 4 months of pregnancy. And then holding that on my body for quite a while and learning how to be empowered without either. So there are 2 big subconscious programs that I've discovered. One, who I am doesn't carry enough weight with it. So I need to gain weight, and our subconscious doesn't understand that it's not physical. And so we start putting weight on. So what we say matters, what we believe matters, so we can carry the weight in our society. That's the one. And the second one is the genetic subconscious programming, as to where through generations of time, historically, having weight was a determiner of well-being. Only people that were of wealthy status actually could carry some weight. So a lot of us, the second we're making progress in our success, whether it's relationship or money or business, we tend to gain weight. And that is not our conscious choice, but it is our genetic programming for carrying weight forward as a status of power. Those were the two huge observations for me. And how did I release the weight, right? We don't lose it, because when we lose it, we must find. That's a subconscious trigger. So if anybody is looking to lose weight, please realize you don't need to lose it. What you lose, you will find. So let's make this shift for I am ready to release the weight I no longer need to carry for my ancestors, for my family, and for the world. And I'm ready to reclaim the wholeness that I am, the fitness that I am. And so it was learning to love the weight I carried, not as a part of me, but as a released part of me. I truly know only one way to become the weight you've come to be is to carrying your weight without a subconscious contract of gaining physical weight. That is one of the shifts that I offer. I want to offer it to us. If anybody is interested at this moment of allowing for me to make the subconscious shift, that you now have a permission to carry your spiritual weight, your mental weight, your power and empowering weight on this planet as the light you've come to be, without the need of it showing as your physical gain and physical weight. The contract is complete. And going forward, you have a permission to release the physical weight without losing the weight of your significance, that you remain and become more significant of who you've come to become without need of gaining weight. So anybody who wanted that release, just think or say yes. And there we go. That was unexpected, but we go as guided, right?
Exactly. And when I was setting up this podcast, you've raised a very interesting point. I had to use the word weight loss because that's what we've become accustomed to, but it definitely is weight release. It's releasing what no longer serves you. Mm-hmm. And I'm just so glad that you mentioned that, because it never quite sat well with me having to use weight loss in my title.
What if it's loss of weight loss? We can lose. No, I'm just kidding. I think it's beautiful to meet people where they are. Words are just words. And for somebody who is struggling with the concept, it's very important to honor us where we are and where we are found. It's much easier than to take a person through your powerful platform to where they're guided to go, as opposed to deny the experience of pain we're currently in. Words are just words, and we can shift them easily.
Definitely. Now, we've covered a fair bit here, but I really want to open the floor to you. Tell me about what you do, your apps, all your work. We're really interested in finding out, what does Victoria Rader do?
In a nutshell, I am one of the luckiest people on this planet because I have capacity to see person's great light and potential they've come to be, and then equip them to reach that potential, whether it is in a group setting or an individual setting. And it is a very joyful process. It's not an overnight process, but it's a joyful process. Through the sets of life experience and skills developed, I have come to rely on a very rare capacity to truly recognize what stands in the way of someone's ability to fulfill their divine timing, a divine mission. If you believe there is a source, God, universe that supports you, that is the language I'm comfortable with. Otherwise, if they have a life calling or passion or path, very many of us are blinded to that. And so what I've come to understand, first for me, then for my family and clients, is that it all starts with reclaiming inner peace. So on the journey through the products, books, programs, we have coaches, apps, anything and everything we do supports this particular journey one step at a time. And it's the first one is reclaiming your inner peace. A lot of people prematurely seek either prosperity or purpose, and it causes the anxiety of lack. They feel they haven't found their purpose in life. They're anxious. They feel their life is not as prosperous as their desires would like for them to have it. They feel more anxious. Ironically, the anxiety disconnects us from the source of all abundance and purpose, and we feel more lost, more stressed, more bummed out. And guess what? More means more weight. The more weight we carry on our shoulders, the more weight our body carries for us. In one of our programs that's called My Radiant Body, I teach us to love weight. I'm going to just make a beautiful invitation for us to transform something. I want you to look at that extra weight that any one of us carries with such awe and love. And this is why those little fat cells are lifesavers. They're created so that all the toxic, whether it is foods or environmental toxins or our thoughts and our stress hormones, that they do not kill us, that they don't go for our heart, that they don't necessarily attack our brain immediately. Those little fat cells say, come on, all the toxic presence, come inside. I will encapsulate you, and I will give this person time to heal as long as it takes, because they're worth it. So when you look at your extra fat, and I love the word fat because healthy fat is very important, but even on your unhealthy fat, look at it with so much compassion. You're looking at your body's capacity to preserve your life. You're being alive because of this extra weight you carry, right? So that would be the first thing, of coming to peace with understanding that where you are is already a miracle. You are alive because of this extra weight you carry. Your body has done its job for you. So instead of hating it, we can start shifting to compassion, love, and appreciation for every little extra pound that we carry, because it is a validation of us being so loved in this life of survival. And as we love ourselves, love will melt the toxicity. So that to me is the first step in terms of the awareness process of shifting how you look at yourself in the mirror. Look at yourself. Don't look away. Look at every little inch of that extra weight and thank your powerful, miraculous body. It has saved you. It has brought you here. Once you realize that, you can then invite for the peace, internal peace. Peace is awareness of Creator's love for you. As I've mentioned, whatever you feel Creator is, you have not made yourself to breathe. Whatever process you feel breathes you, to me, it's God, Creator, World Designer. I don't even care if you think it's the Big Bang. Is the Big Bang breathes you, so be it. But there is an ultimate intelligent mechanism. I call it the divine mechanism that is responsible for every breath you take. Feeling love from this source brings peace. There's no other definition of peace. So when you first wake up in the morning, do 3 I love yous. First say I love you and feel love for you. For that, a little bit of an overweight body because it kept you alive. For your beautiful eyes, hair, find something you absolutely love about yourself. And then just for you. So your first I love you is for you. Your second I love you is going to be for the triggering person in your life. Who is the person who triggers you the most right now? You don't have to force yourself to feel love. You simply are going to say, I love you. You're just going to send love to them. And then the third I love you is to the circumstance or situation that is created between the two of you as a result. As you say, I love you, I love you, I love you. You can put your hand on your heart when you do that. Feel the shift to peace at that very moment. So practical, so easy. Start your day with peace. As you start your day with peace, your next step is to serve. Ask internally, what can I do? Who can I love today? That's the definition of service. It's not doing something for someone while resenting them for you having to do it for them, right? So ask yourself, now from this place of love, who can I serve today? And it might be a name of a friend that you're going to send a text and say, I'm thinking about you. That might be the extent of your service daily. Now, a miracle happens as you love first, you gain peace. As you gain peace and you serve from the place of that peace daily, your purpose becomes apparent. Your purpose becomes apparent as a result of daily service. Yes, with ups and downs. Yes, with days forgetting to do so, but going back to it and continuing on. And finally, as you're on this journey, as your purpose reclaims your passion, it will start leaving the seeds of prosperity. There are many ways to make money, but to make lasting prosperity in your life, I've come to realize this is the most beautiful path that does not bring you or your family or your life into sacrifice. So peace as awareness of love, purpose as serving from the place of love, becoming apparent to you and through you. Whether it takes minutes, hours, days, or years is irrelevant because you're in a space of peace. And as a result, the expanding prosperity. So that would be the overall formula, if you will, for application for all of our coaching practices, for all of our coaches, for all of our products. One of the products is Empower-Me, and that whole app is created to help you reclaim your peace, your purpose, and your prosperity in the most aligned way for you without changing who you are, but empowering you to be more of who you are.
Beautiful indeed. Now, Victoria, we love freebies here. What can you offer the listeners and where can they find it?
Well, I love freebies too, both to give and to receive. Currently, we have a lot of cool offerings. Currently, what I'm creating, and the waitlist is available and it'll be released shortly, and I'll tell you why we're waiting for it, is the program that is a free masterclass on manifesting miracles. A lot of the work that I've done has been on manifesting both the practical things, the financial things, but also the ability to manifest what is aligned for you and through you, which is, I believe, is the miracles in your life. So if you go to manifestmiracles.me, I'll tell you why me in a second, you will be able to either claim it or get on a wait list to claim it, depending on when you listen to this gorgeous podcast. That absolutely free miracles workshop. Now, what do I mean by manifest miracles? We have 5 physical senses through which we perceive the world. And we all know what they are. We have eyesight, we have ability to smell, to touch, to taste. But that is how we perceive the world, physical world. In order to create the world and in order to manifest miracles, we need to master our 6 mental faculties. Interestingly, most people don't even know what those are. So how can you master something you aren't aware exists? Those 6 mental faculties are imagination, intuition, perception, reason, memory, and will. So this masterclass will go over each mental faculty. It will have powerful energy clearing and an exercise for you to start mastering every single one of those faculties. It will have the actual meditations and visualizations for you to invite, to perceive, and to receive miracles in your life. Now, why me? Why manifestmiracles.me? And why do we have me all over? Empower-Me, Master-Me, my book about money, Prosper Me. Because me is a reminder of who we are as beings in this mortal experience. There is a part of us that is little m. We're mortal. The physical matter dies. We are matter, or mortal matter, that materially manifests. This physical body of ours, it has to have material. It has to manifest materially to survive. So all of us have a part of us at that little m. But all of us also have a big E of who we are, which is eternal energy, the essence that expands. So when I look at the word me with little m, big E, it's a reminder of who I am. I am matter that is surrendering to energy. I am mortal that is surrendering to eternal. I am material that surrenders to essential. And I'm manifesting that surrenders to expansive. And how do I do that? I do so by surrendering to love. I see love as life originating, vibrant emotion or energy in motion. So manifestmiracles.me workshop is going to teach you how to surrender through activating your mental faculties so that you can reclaim and create a life full of miracles. I hope you feel the passion I have for it and the vision and the joy. I believe this will be one of the greatest gifts I will offer to anybody. The reason it's been pending and collecting the wait list is because it was very important to me that this program is recorded in Hawaii. And you will learn the reason why in that program. It's become a place to open up miracle flow into my life. And I want the energy of Hawaii be poured into the program itself. So we're having this conversation and recording the podcast actually just a week prior to me being in Hawaii and recording it. So it's an honor to be a part of the Magic Barclay podcast while talking about manifestmiracles.me. There are no coincidences.
I love it. Now, I've loved having you on. I know the guests will be looking to get in touch with you. What are your social media handles?
On Instagram, it's Vika, V-I-C-A, _ Rader, R-A-D-E-R. Probably Instagram is the best way to find me. LinkedIn, Victoria Rader, and always on the website, you2shine.com.
Thank you so much for your time, Victoria. I've loved having you on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. It truly has been magical.
And listeners, thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate the time that you give us to listen to the guests, to listen to me, and to really listen to yourself and build yourself. So thank you so much. Go forth and create your magical life. Thanks for listening today. Please subscribe to hear future episodes, leave a review, and share this podcast. Drop us a line at A Magical Life Podcast on Facebook and let me know what you would like to know more about. You can find us on Instagram at Holistic Natural Health, that's holistic with a W, or at www.holisticnaturalhealth.com.au. That's where you'll access all sorts of articles, freebies, and more.